So let's take a closer look at the four principal concepts of procurement. The first one is fair and open competition. So, since vendors want you to select them, the more vendors that are competing for your business, the likelihood that the price will potentially be lower, as well as the quality of goods and services will be higher. With well-written specifications, all suppliers are playing on a level playing field and all have the same opportunity to compete. The second principle is fairness and integrity. Fairness and integrity includes guidelines around code of conduct policies and procedures. SFAs must make sure that ethical safeguards exist and are maintained at all levels in the organization and in all aspects of the procurement process. A proper code of conduct policy would help employees avoid real or perceived conflicts of interest in the procurement process. A code of conduct is required and must be followed even if all your purchases fall under your small purchase threshold. Your school district, or supervisory union likely already have a purchasing code of conduct in place for purchasing books, school buses, computers, and so forth. So you should check with your business administrator to see, and if so, you can just begin following that code for your school food service purchases. If you just like a company better, then it's not a good enough reason to go with them. But if your specs require a certain level of customer service, such as deliver on Tuesdays before 10 o'clock a.m., have live telephone support 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and so forth, then you can eliminate companies that don't meet these requirements. Just make sure that these requirements and specs are really worth paying for. Also, if an unethical action is identified, the SFA must immediately take action to correct it. For example, no matter how strongly an SFA official may prefer a particular product or supplier, other comparable products and supplies must be given every reasonable consideration. The third principle is responsive and responsible contractors. Responsive are contractors whose products or services meet the SFA specifications. Responsible are those who can and will successfully fulfill the terms and conditions of the proposed procurement. You may look back on past purchases to evaluate vendors. If a past vendor did not hold up their end of the bargain, then you can consider them a non-responsible contractor. You cannot or you are not required to contact them or award further contracts to them, but make sure you have documentation to support all your decisions. The final principle is transparency. Remember, everything is out in the open and transparent. If at any point you feel uncomfortable about how something is being done, then step back and evaluate the situation. Documentation is key to each step of the procurement process. Remember, everything done by the SFA must be clear, above board, and out in the